Good morning. Alzado here. It is post-Easter. The resurrection of the Lord has taken place symbolically once again. However, we still are dealing with a sex scandal which has appeared in the paper multiple times throughout this Lenten season. Pope sees sex scandal as a test, it says. And they have taken some steps on Holy Friday to verbally address these issues with regard to pedophilia. However, many clerical leaders have said that we are dealing with a lot of sadistic education methods from the 60s and 70s. I hope these methods are no longer being utilized, but we're not sure. That seems a little odd. In Italy, they have 235 victims showing up, 73 documented cases being investigated. In Munich in 1980, where the present Pope, Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, transferred a priest out of the archdiocese in order to avoid scandal, in order to protect the Catholic Church's reputation, and this priest later became an archbishop in cases that dealt with pedophilia. On a sermon during the Lenten holiday, a priest mentioned that the Catholic Church was being treated like the Jews were with Nazism and the Holocaust. They have since renounced that. However, I think the diagnosis was incorrect from the beginning. I do agree with the inflammatory remarks that these are wrong. However, I believe that the Catholic priests are no less than Nazis themselves. It's not that they should be defended, it's that they themselves are the ones promulgating these horrendous crimes and hiding behind a shield of institutionality and institutionalization. Like some type of Hitler, the Pope rules under canon law. In other words, he is the legislative, the executive, and the judicial branch all in one. Yes, over the course of 100 years, various popes, through various synods, have tried to codify these canonical laws. However, codification just makes them more civil and common law based, as they say, with regard to their development in Europe and Latin American countries. However, they are still under the umbrella of the omniscient, the omnipresent Pope, the pontifical head that decides everything. With regard to, again, the Jewish reference, again, apples versus oranges. Apples to apples would be more like what I'm just suggesting. In any case, victims say even that Pope Benedict, the former Archbishop of Munich, and later as a Vatican cardinal directing the Holy See's policy on handling abuse cases, was part of the culture of cover-up and confidentiality basically devised to protect the church hierarchy. I mean, these are really major things. I mean, you cannot put a dollar figure on the tragedy and the agony that these victims have faced and have gone through. The Dean of the College of Cardinals has dismissed all these claims as petty gossip, and they counter it, calling it a vile smear operation orchestrated against the anti-Vatican movement and moral authority. And that is just unfortunate. In his final speech over the Easter break, the Pope did single out various trials and sufferings that the world is facing globally. But it did ignore the reshuffling of pedophile priests from parish to parish. It did avoid and did not renounce defrocking clergy who rape, sodomize, and otherwise sexually abuse minors. These things are childhood innocence shattering. They are not petty gossip. And a canonical trial may not solve the issue. Yes, billions of dollars have been leveled out over the course of the last decade to try to help and appease the mental anguish these victims have gone through. But in Milwaukee, where the one priest was accused of assaulting some 200 deaf boys, and a trial was initiated against this particular reverend, and our current Pope, Cardinal Ratzenberger, halted the proceedings at that time. I think if anybody can turn this thing around is one individual. And how cool, how great, how amazing, what an example to be set if the Pope could stand up to what is right, stand up to the evil that exists within the Catholic Church, and do the right thing, absolve himself, absolve the Catholic Church, begin anew and afresh, as opposed to continually bearing these horrible claims in the thousands of canon law that exist confusedly, hard to reconcile, and has no real parallel to the criminal justice system that exists today. I wish the best for those victims. I hope and pray for those victims, and I hope and pray for the Vatican and the Pope. Thank you.